What's going on? Welcome to Totally Blitz Podcast. We're going to break down UFC Vegas 78, aka Fight Night, Luque versus Dos Anjos. And it was a banger with a hell of a lot of finishes. So, as always, go down, like, and subscribe. Comment your thoughts on the card, your favorite fight, your favorite KO, who you thought should have did what. Let us know. And as always, these are your hosts. I'm Paul Pick'em, Win'em, Concha. I got a little drink because I wasn't winning this weekend. And as always, who's with me?
You already know it's your boy. Tell me how you really feel. Tell me how you really feel. Your boy kept Waterboy Savoy, aka the Don PYE, aka the realest mother trucker on your screen. You feel me? And we gotta talk this shit, Pebble, because low key, this shit was lit. But before I get into anything, we gotta introduce a special guest for the show today. What's cracking, my dog?
It's your boy South Powers Unboxing from the Boxing Podcast. We here to break down some UFC, man.
Yeah, we got a trifecta with us today, boys. And I mean, honestly, I didn't have high hopes for this card. It was a filler in between pay-per-views. But one thing about fight nights is there will always be a lot of finishes. And that's exactly what this fight night brought. I felt like there was outside of the co-main and main event, other than that, I feel like almost everything didn't need the judges.
Nah, bro, that shit was real. I told you, I was like, I said it in the recap and preview. I was like, yo, I think that if they're in the little cage, there's gonna be some knockouts this motherfucking show. And there was the record for most knockouts in a card is 7. There were 6 at the end of the prelims. Like that shit was insane.
And then to start off the episode real quick, I forgot to do this on our last recap, but I'm bringing it back. We gotta put the egg on their head for this one thing we said. All thing was Vince Luque had no shot. And we kept hammering that home and home, like brain hemorrhage. He's coming back too early. He didn't look good. RDA is still old, but he's been active. He's been looking good in his fights. So we were talking all that shit on Luque. I don't even think we talked too much on Luque. We were just hyping up RDA. So me and Kev ended up with the eggs on our head when it came to RDA, one of our favorite picks on the night. But I think we kind of bounced back, Kev, because you called that shit part of this segment. I said Khalil Roundtree money line was my favorite pick of the card, my favorite bet of the card, -170. It's almost a pick 'em, and Khalil Roundtree is gonna beat the shit out of Dawkins. And it wasn't just because I hate the Dawkins brothers and I don't think they should be in the UFC, but it's this Chris Dawkins is not a good striker, and he went in there. He's like 3 fights in a row going in there with somebody who boxes with him, and he just gets absolutely dog walked, and it's like brutal fashion, and that's exactly what happened. So like we did bad with RDA, but we looked great with Khalil Roundtree.
Bro, that Dawkins shit is crazy. I'm gonna get to it more when we go over that fight, but bro, the schedule and the fucking matchmaking that they gave the Dawkins brothers, especially the big one, is fucking insane.
What about you, Gator? What on this card stand out for you? Did you watch the card fully, or are you immersed in the? I know we were watching boxing as well.
Oh yeah. I wasn't able to catch the card, but I did catch the fight in the highlights. And the first thing was coming with Luque's last 2 performances. It has some 2 rough last 2 losses. With the injury going into this fight, especially going against RDA, who's not some like pushover. It felt like they were kind of giving him someone too tough too early.
Yeah, we can start. We can start from it from the top. Then, what's up?
I think it's crazy, right? So if you didn't know, because you be living under a rock, me and Paul was at the Jerry Will 24's birthday comedy bash this weekend on Saturday. So I missed a lot of the card. But when I double backed, everybody was saying the prelims was better than the main card. Like the prelims was lit. And I was like, no way. So I've only seen the prelims so far because the prelims were jumping. I mean, every fight on the prelims was a banger. And I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah, honestly, the first 7 fights, all 7 finishes.
Yeah, like electric. I wish I could have been in the room for that. Like me, I'm over here going to sleep with the UFC Nashville card last week. This card at the Apex is going crazy, and nobody got to see it. And I was like, that's insane.
And to even make it even more electric, 7 finishes and 6 of them were first round.
Yep.
Yeah. So like to knock us off first fight, Luna Santos gets the first round KO over Juliana Miller. And Juliana Miller, ever since the tough, she's been having a tough ass road. And this was Luna Santos' first UFC. This is her debut. And it was a pick 'em. And there's another bet. I didn't put it out in the pod, but I put the house on Luana. I didn't know who she was. I just knew how bad Miller is. So I just put the house on Santos, and it paid off. That was one of the bets that actually paid off pretty well. But like Juliana Miller, I think we're realizing that like if you're not coming from the Contender Series, you might not really be cut out for the UFC because these tough fighters are going out bad.
Yeah, these tough. That's my dog. You feel me? That's my. I rock with everybody from Tough 31. You feel me? Or Tough 30. Fuck with them boys. But yeah, this shit is looking terrible, Powell. It is fucking insane. Like, and the thing about it is like after rewatching that fight, is like Juliana Miller. She's a brown belt in BJJ, so she has a decent ground game, and that's how she won all the tough fights. There was all by submission. But her striking is atrocious.
White belt striking.
Yeah, like, I'm not gonna lie, her striking is bad, and it's not like it's atrocious because I feel like it's enough. Like if this was just a different world where BJJ ran supreme, like it would be enough to just to get the job done, and everybody just loved to go to the ground, and nobody ever wanted to just stand up and bang. She would be a great motherfucking person in that world, but because everybody likes to strike, her wrestling isn't all that for real. If existent. So like it just looks bad, but she has so much heart because like she was taking hits for a minute and just throwing back hood nigga hooks, and like it's just the ref was tired of seeing this. He's like, I'm done. Just go ahead and wave this off.
Yeah. You say you think she would be better in like sambo, sambo?
Yes, like do something else, like bro.
Y'all are talking about the future PFL champ. Y'all better put some respect on it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. They might drop her though, and I'm like, damn, that's tragic. Because like she's the one that lost her last two.
Yeah, or the Eagle FC.
I'll take it to Eagle. I think Eagle FC was bankrupt.
And then our next fight, Damon Blackshear gets the twister over Jose Johnson, third twister in history in the UFC. Korean Zombie, Bryce Mitchell. And now Damon Blackshear, the twister sees no color. It don't matter. That boy Damon Black. And also shout out Damon Blackshear. He fights on this card, and we'll see him next week on the 292 card.
What?
Back to back?
Back to back on their ass.
Oh wow.
That's crazy. That's back-to-back weight cuts too.
That's crazy. That's insane.
Hey, prompt to him getting the bag and working hard too.
I'm not sure if he got the bonus, but he should have. I mean, third twister in history. I don't give a fuck about anything else. Like that should be a warrant enough on the bonus.
The coolest thing about that fight was the fucking the commentators, because when they saw that DC saw that twister getting set up, they were going insane trying to get
saying,
that.
That hurts. They can say, that hurts right there. I was like, damn.
And then I'm learning that. At first, I thought the twister was just like a choke, but it's actually like stretching out your back and everything like that. So it just feels like your entire back is breaking on top again. I'm just like, wow, that's uncomfortable. It's really uncomfortable.
And I want to see, because he's an underdog in his next fight on 292. So I want to see if he follows up. Yeah, I want to see if he follows up. Like, because he didn't take any damage. So I just want to see how he looks going into 292. I mean, back-to-back weight cuts hasn't been the best for people, but JDM, Jack Della Mandela, he did it just a couple weeks ago. So maybe he might be changing the ways. Then our next fight was a third-round KO, Jacqueline Amorium announcing her entrance into the division. She's already been known. She was a massive favorite, but she just, absolutely dogged Conhelo Ruiz, and it could have been ended in the first round. It could have been ended in the second round, and thank God the ref stopped it in the third round.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was watching this fight, and I was getting toasted, you feel me? So I'm looking up every 2 seconds. I'm like, damn, this girl's just beating her ass. She's whipping her ass. I'm like, damn, she might have 10-8'd her. Like,
it was 10-8 both rounds, they say. The card didn't both rounds were 10-8s according to the judges. Not the judges, but to the commentary. Commentary was like, I'm pretty sure that's as good as a 10-8 round I've ever seen.
Yeah, that shit was bad, man. But JP, man, did you watch the prelims at all?
I missed the prelims.
You got it. See, like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I wasn't a big prelim guy not too long ago. Even though we talked the fights, it's tough for me to sit down and watch all the fights because, like, we be toasted. You feel me? When you get toasted, you get sleepy. When you get sleepy, you doze off. When you doze off, you miss the main card because you was too busy watching these other motherfuckers fight. But I turned into a prelim warrior slightly because I got bullied. But I've turned to a prelim warrior, and the prelims be where the low key fights be because, like, even Terrence McKinney was on the prelims this card.
Villain.
Yeah, I was a prelim warrior all last year. Like last summer, like during that stretch of like when people were saying like the UFC events were bad. It was when the prelims were just on straight fire. Like I don't know, it was like it went like I don't know, it was like on a 3 month stretch of every single prelim having majority fights and then finishes. Like there was cards where every single main card, multiple of them would end in the finish last year. You know what I'm saying? And like the main card in the main event might not be the best, but the prelims will always result in a knockout. And it was always the cards without, like, you know what I'm saying, without the most names. You know what I'm saying?
So when people show up,
the ones people weren't.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But we went to UFC Miami. That's what put me on prelims too. Cause like we walked in that bitch to a knockout. I was like, oh shit, what the fuck just happened?
And then let's bounce around. We got 3 more finishes. Or 4 straight finishes we got to follow up on real quick. Martin Buday, the only heavyweights on the card. Martin Buday submits Josh Parison in the first round. And one thing I love about this one was they both were known for going to the decisions. And many bets, the UFC better, who's honestly not a good better at all, but the UFC commentary better, Minty Bets, her pick of the fight was for this fight to go to decision. And then all of a sudden the fight's over in the first round. And I was just like, that's why you don't listen to Minty Bets. Because Minty don't know jack shit about this shit going on. But it was Martin Buday was a massive favorite. I think like minus 250, minus 300. So he did what he was supposed to do. He took care of the garbage.
Rush 13-1. Like they expect him to become a hitter though. But the Kimura that he locked up was on the gate. That shit just looks so painful. I'm just over here thinking, like, me personally, if I'm in a Kimura, if I'm putting a Kimura in on a motherfucker, I'm immediately breaking that bitch. Like, immediately, not thinking twice. Like, not if you don't tap out the second you feel it locked, your shit's getting broken. Like, but like, bro was on the gate, and like when he was moving on the gate, he would have to like level it out. So like, bro would be like laying back, and then next thing you know, once he got that space, once Booty got that space and cranked that bitch, you could just see the agony in his face, and I was just like, oof. That looks painful. Facts. I feel like heavyweights don't train this like that. Like they hit a bang.
Oh no. They train no ground game.
And the worst part was that like Buday, even though he did the Kimura to finish him, he was fucking him up on the feet. Like his shots were landing, and when they landed, you could notice Parison was like backing up, like, oh fuck, like. So it was like nowhere to run for him. And then the next fight was honestly a little bit, 4 minutes, 48 seconds, first round, KO.
Welcome to the UFC. That boy, Isaac, how you say his last name?
Bulgarian. Like he part of Bulgarians.
That's how you let motherfuckers know you coming in this bitch with a fucking TKO. Did you see the elbows he gave this motherfucker? Cutting shit.
It was like Armin Saryukian style, bro. Just fucking dropping the bows on the top.
Right, like the way that elbows in MMA were explained to me is that these are your daggers. Like these you use these are your melees, but these are your daggers. These shits right here, they cut, and you can just see the blood pouring down on bruh's face. Because I feel like he only threw elbows on the ground. Like he didn't throw a single punch, single jab, single strike, elbows. It made you really feel that shit.
He got the takedown almost effortlessly, and then just controlled his way, got postured into his spot, and then in doing damage along with getting to his spot. Like there's a difference between getting control time and getting control time and mauling the guy. And that's what I like. I like watching him maul the guy and actually do damage from the top. And that's exactly what I saw from Targaryen. And like, I'm a Game of Thrones fan, so that boy is now Isaac Targaryen to me. Until I see an L, that boy is Isaac Targaryen.
That boy is the target. Oh, the one true ruler.
And then back-to-back KOs here, both first round. We saw Terrence McKinney, fill-in fighter, get the finish over Mike Breeden. And I'm happy for T-Rex here because he's been fighting really good fighters, and some like his last he was winning it. He was winning up until he got submitted. At least it was a close first round. I still think he won the first round. But then the second round, he got submitted. And then before that, the Drew Dauber fight, he dropped Drew Dauber. Drew Dauber gets back up. Drew Dauber finishes him. Like, he's had a couple of them close ones. So I'm happy to see my boy get the KO.
Don't forget about my boy Bonfim now. Don't forget about Bonfim.
Oh, and then the Bonfim KO. Yeah, the KO of the year.
But shout out Terrence McKinney. He got this fucking win in 85 seconds. Like, hey, you came in that bitch. You got to piece him up. Gave him a body shot that, bro. Because I was looking, I had to keep rewatching this. I was like, what punch did it? Because like I feel like Terrence was just throwing these bitches, and one of them was just enough. Like he hurt him with the fucking body shot. And the best thing about a body shot is it takes a second for you to realize that bitch hurt you. Motherfucking gave him some jabs straight to the face, and then immediately you just see bro switch once he realizes like, oh, I've been motherfucking hurt, injured. And then when bro started Terrence McKinney turned the pressure up. And I was like, see, this is the T-Rex that I heard about. I never got to see this T-Rex fight yet. But this is the T-Rex I heard about. And he said he's ready to fight soon. Did you hear his interview when he was like, man, I want to fight in Boston? And he was like, oh, that's next week. Oh, let me fight in Sydney. Give me a month.
Oh, you Gator, I know you like T-Rex. How do you feel about your guy?
Oh yeah, I'm a big T-Rex fan. And I was also about to say that about that Drew Dober fight. He took that like last minute. It was like on a week or 2 week notice. It was very last minute when he took that fight, and he still went in. The thing about Terrence McKinney, he is always active in a gym because in his eyes, he wants to take every single opportunity. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if there's like let's say someone needs a backup at UFC 292, he will be ready right now. He just wants to he wants to make the best fights happen, and he always puts on a show when he fights. He's one of the most exciting fighters in the UFC. I really wish we could get him versus Patty one day in the future.
That'd be fine. That'd be a great press conference too. But fun fact
because they got history together too.
But fun fact about T-Rex. So you know how they got the Blunt Bros because Jamal Hill was in attendance this week.
Yeah, he was.
To watch his dog. Kevin Holland just fought last week. But what you didn't know is that Kevin Holland fought Michael Chiesa, and Michael Chiesa was T-Rex's wrestling coach back in high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah. See, that shit's crazy. So when that fight came on, Kevin Holland is like who is like his brother, his mentor, an older version of him, and his fucking former coach were going at it, and he just had to sit down and be like, how the fuck did I get into a world where this could happen?
That's kind of gas. I'm not gonna lie. Terrence McKinney,
just got in the middle of it.
Terrence McKinney, I love him, but if he wants to become like the legitimate top 10 guy in the weight class, I do think he has to slow down a little bit. I know I love the idea of taking any fighter possible, and even a Drew Dober loss. Like, that didn't age bad. Drew Dober went on to be top 15, and then he lost to Steamroller in a very, very exciting first round fight. And so, like, that's not a bad loss on your record. Bonfim loss maybe won't be bad either whenever Bonfim continues to do what he does. So, like, just slow down a bit. Know that you are going to put on exciting fights. And even when you're in the cage, slow down a bit. Because sometimes you see – that's why Drew Dober beat him, because he kind of tried to keep going at – he got caught. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like this – slow down a bit. You don't have to be on gas 100%. So that's my only advice for that boy, because I do love Terrence McKinney. That was, like, even when we first started the podcast and he was just a prospect, I was telling Kev about T-Rex is this dude.
Yeah, and how do you feel? He says that he has this, because my only beef for T-Rex is that it's tough to feel bad for somebody when they lose, and then you see them on Twitter like a couple minutes before like they walked out and shit. But he says he has a social media manager, and it's not him. But I don't know. Like, I don't know.
No, that's cap. As soon as I remember it was like around 2 years ago is when he started. Like, he started his whole thing where he wanted to be like the best UFC fighter on Twitter, and he wanted to gain his full fan base specifically on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? So he's kind of so he kind of like doing what the fans on Twitter want him to do, besides kind of like doing what he was like best for him, like taking you know what I'm saying, like taking fights against guys like Drew Dober on a 1 week notice. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He's trying to prove too much to random people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that motherfucker still owes me some memorabilia because he had that fight. But the fight after the fight before Dober, he said, well, next fight, who guess the exact time on the fight, and I'll give you free gear. I was off by like 2 seconds. I put like first round 2 minutes and 58 seconds. It was really first round 2 minutes 56 seconds, and everyone in the comments was even responding to my comment talking about he's the closest. He's the closest. I didn't hear nothing. I haven't heard nothing from my boy. It's been going on a year now. I mean,
dang, Terrence.
where my gear?
We gotta get that boy on the show. You gotta get that boy on the show.
And you know he sees it. He's always on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? You know he sees it.
Motherfucker,
yeah, he definitely saw it too.
No, he got knocked out, and he immediately ran to Twitter to start talking trash to like random pages, and I was like, it was a loss after the Drew Dober fight.
He's the KD of the UFC right now with the way he on Twitter with that.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a fight before Drew Dober. I think he got knocked out again. And then like he ran to Twitter, like started like going at like, you know what I'm saying, like reporters and pages, like, you know what I'm saying, as soon as he gets back to the locker room.
No, that shit's crazy, man. But yeah, that's T-Rex for you. We love him. We love him in the cage. We love him when he's winning. Keep doing it and stay off of Twitter.
Sure.
All right, we're gonna have to bounce around here a little bit on time, but one real quick, I think the best knockout of the night came in the next fight. Marcus McGhee getting a first round KO over JP Buys. And I mean, honestly, fucking that the way he picked his shot was perfect. And then he hits him with the step in right hand, drops him, and puts his hands up. He doesn't even do any more damage because he knows homeboy's out of there.
Bruh, 3 days notice is when he took this fight. We record. I think the day we recorded the preview is probably when he took the fight, and we just happened to. We would have probably talked the right fight if we had talked about this one. I don't think we did. 3 days notice. This is the second time he's gotten a fucking fight on short notice. His second fight in the UFC. This motherfucker is going places.
Yeah, and his background's BJJ. So like he hasn't even. I mean, he got the second round submission over Journey Newsom in his first fight in the UFC on also short notice. But then he came in this fight. He only threw 11 punches. He landed 7 of them, but he only needed that one to finish it. And even then, he said like in the post fight, like they're like, "Why didn't you swing? Like that's very dangerous. If the ref doesn't stop it, you let your guy get back up." And he was like, "I told myself when I came in this fight, I was gonna pick all my shots. So even when when I stood over him, I knew that could have been an option where this fight may not be ended, even though I think it should have been ended. But if he got back up and the ref didn't stop it, I was still gonna pick I told myself I was gonna pick my shot, so I wasn't gonna overswing right there. And I was like, bro, this motherfucker is intelligent. Like this man got the IQ. Like I really like McGhee. Like it's so far what I've seen out of him. I don't know how old he is, but he looks old as shit. And his ass is I don't know, like probably one of my favorite fighters right now at bantamweight.
Nah, no rap count. I'm gonna tell you how old he is in 2 seconds. My boy is.
Oh, he's 33. He looks almost 40. He looks about 40.
He definitely giving like 57, but he fight like he 20. He fight like he 22. Like he really him.
And that right hand step in punch was like the guy stepped in and he went, just dropped him with the right. And it was so mean. And then the guy tried to get back up and play it off and then like fell off towards the cages. And I was like, God damn. that was a punch.
No, for real. And it was funny because he was from South Africa. So, my hating ass, my Izzy fan ass talking about some.
Oh.
Drink is you next.
Oh, shit.
And then
I will say the bantamweight is the most hot division right now. It's the most exciting right now.
You keep trying to open can of worms. I mean, we got things to talk about. All right, we got.
My bad.
Hey, where you was at last year, JP? Where you was at last year? I was telling these niggas bantamweight ain't no joke.
There's 3 divisions that are arguable, but we'll get on that another day. And then we got 2 decisions. We got Josh Fremd getting the unanimous decision over Jamie Pickett. No surprise there. He was a minus 300 favorite. He should have got the win. Jamie Pickett isn't really all that. And then AJ Dobson gets the unanimous decision over Teflon. Chu Chu Teflon. He got the unanimous decision over Teflon. I'm not even gonna try and say that last name. I'm gonna disrespect the whole country if I try that one.
I forgot what you said about AJ Dobson. There's something special about this fight. But
AJ Dobson was who is he? Homeboys or not home? Actually, this is my friend from work. His his cousin trains with AJ Dobson, and they have the same coach. And he was showing me pictures of the coach, and he was like, "Watch, this guy's gonna be in the corner." And when I was watching the fight, homeboy was in the corner. I was like, "Oh shit, that's my homeboy."
That's what it was.
Coach.
I was about to say, I feel like somebody told me something. Like, you know, I'd be on the dirt sheets.
Yeah. And I did tell him too. I didn't pick AJ Dobson in the fight, so like, it didn't look good when AJ did win. But then, let's get back into the finishes. One of my favorite picks on the night. I'm so happy it cashed. This was literally my saving grace on the night. Was the couple. It is back-to-back fights right here. Yasmin Lucindo submits Polyana Viana. I love Polly. Everyone, that's UFC's favorite fighter right now. All the MMA Twitter loves Polyana. She got the pain tattoo eyes right here. You know, anime and MMA.
Yeah,
everyone's seen Gator Boy light up as soon as I said them pain tattoos. And then
I was telling Kevin about her last year. I remember.
Yeah, ever since day for real.
But Yasmin Lucindo is a fucking dog, bro. All she's done is since she's joined the UFC is absolutely demolish her competition. And then people were saying, "Oh, Paulie by sub, Paulie's BJJ is so legit. If it goes to the ground, Yasmin's gonna outstrike her. But once it goes to the ground, Paulie's gonna submit her." So when the arm triangle by Lucindo submission finish, I was sitting here like, damn, bro, like what else can she do? Because we've seen her beat people down on the feet, and then now to submit a submissive fighter. I mean, woman strawweight, I mean, you got a new hitter. Like, we can't sleep on Jasmine Lucindo. And she's only like 24, 25.
I was about to say, she's young as fuck, too. She's only 24.
And she just has that dog look to her. Like, you see her, and it's just like, oh, that's a tough bitch.
Looking at us?
I was say, if I'd get her haircut like as a super fan. I'd get her haircut like she's her for real.
It did. Parlayed that with the next fight, Khalil Roundtree Jr. KO. My favorite bet of the night. I already told y'all, Vicious. I wish they had a prop bet, Vicious KO. give me some big odds on that bitch, because I would have hammered that bitch home. But Khalil Roundtree got the job done first round, and like we hit on it earlier, but Chris Dawkins, he cut weight. He's a heavyweight. He cut weight to go to light heavyweight to fight Khalil Roundtree. He thinking, oh, new weight, new me. Nah, this is the same dog. But you got Dawkins in your blood, it's over. Khalil Roundtree took care of business. Knocked him down, then it took a couple extra punches to finish the job. But at this point, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm fucking Toy Story. I'm the kid dropping my toys on the ground at that point if I'm Dana White. Like, goodbye, Dawkins brothers.
Bruh, Khalil Roundtree, Rosenstrike, Curtis Blades, Derek Lewis. Those are his last 4 fights. Like, who is setting him up like
and all of them were first round finishes, weren't they?
I believe so. Yep. No. Don't be doing my dog like that. Blades ain't finishing to the second in a 5 fight.
I remember that one. That was a good money day for me.
Yeah. So like, he's just been put in some bad positions, and like, there's nothing you can really do to get out this hole. You can get a win. But the second you get back into this realm of talent in either division, light heavyweight or heavyweight, they're gonna fuck you up, Brody. So yeah, Paul, like you're I don't even want to call it hating no more. I think you're looking out.
I'm trying to, bro.
Looking out for their well-being.
And like Khalil Roundtree, like to also hype up my guy. Like, first off, he looks like a superhuman. He looks like he could be playing like a superhero in a movie the way he's built. And he has vicious power behind his shots. But this is a 4-fight win streak. I mean, he's 3-0 in 2022. He had a win in 2021. So he's on a 4-fight win streak. Back-to-back good wins. I mean, if you want to call Dawkins a good win, you can. But then he has Dustin Jacoby beat him, and Dustin Jacoby, you watched him at UFC Nashville get the KO over Kennedy Nunchaku or whatever. So like, and he got the win over him in his last fight before this. So Kirill Roundtree's put on a nice little resume for light heavyweight where we know it's not deep. So I want to see my guy get a fight up in the rankings for once.
No rap cap because like Kirill Roundtree is nice. So this weekend we interviewed Eric Anders on comedian Romeo Max podcast. And I was going through
who beat Khalil Roundtree.
So I was looking over all the people at Eric Anders' fight, and I think Eric Anders actually lost to Khalil Roundtree. What's it called? Khalil Roundtree beat Eric Anders.
Oh, did he? Oh, yep. Oh, you're right. You're right. I got mixed up with somebody else. I got mixed up with Cooper Lepa.
Yeah, so that's what So that's when I learned like, oh, Khalil Roundtree has to be in some hitters because Eric Anders only loses to hitters. And then when I heard that he just beat Dustin Jacoby, I was like, oh shit, how does this guy beat the two motherfuckers I know? So I was watching this fight closely to see what goes down. And Khalil Roundtree ain't nothing to fuck with. Even John Anik was screaming this was his favorite bet of the night. And Anik allowed to bet.
And you saw what went down. Chris Dawkins.
Roundtree is him.
And then we've wrapped up our night with back-to-back unanimous decisions. Shout out them boys like the fucking old age club co-main and main event, Cub Swanson and Vicente Luque. But real quick, Cub Swanson, I was giving him doubt. Homeboy's like 39 years old, fucking the most wins in featherweight history or most fights in featherweight. The homeboy's just got the accolades. I knew he was a legend, but I just thought his best years were around him. And for him, it was a close fight. It was a very close fight. It was not act like he went in there and just like took care of business. It was a very close fight, but I think the combination of like the like him getting a little bit of control time, the takedown in one of them rounds or secured him that round, and in the other two rounds were kind of a toss up, and everybody went for Cub Swanson.
Oh no, Paul. MMA Twitter is hot right now. Even Kenny Florian is mad about this one. The judges, they saying my dog.
They love him some Cub. I'm telling you, that one takedown in that one round secured that one round, and I don't know how, but all three judges agreed that one of the other two rounds went to Cub Swanson.
Now, all three judges agreed that the third round went to Cub Swanson. So I thought that was fair. That was fair. I haven't gotten to look into the fight like I want to. I've seen some highlights, but I don't know, man. People are mad right now. They're hot. They're saying Cubby ain't do that. He ain't do that. Akeem got the win right there. A lot of people. I want to say even Anik might have said it too. I want the words.
John Anik said it, right?
But Kenny Florian is probably one of my favorite. Analytically, he's probably one of my favorite hosts when it comes to breaking down MMA. And he's hot. He's snapped. He says, "Judges, you got to get your shit together. You got to be consistent." And you know who was at the table. You know that nigga Sal.
Ow.
You know that nigga Sal.
Was Chris Lee there?
Yeah, you know Sal Diamato was one of the judges on this fight. So I'm just saying, man, shit don't look too right.
I have no idea if Chris Lee was one of the other judges, though. I don't know that one.
I don't think Chris Lee was there, but it was somebody else. But Sal, know Sal like to fuck shit up. Anytime some shit's getting fucked up, Sal or Chris Lee is there every time.
If there's two things Vegas doesn't like, it's laws and it's Canadians. I can see why my boy Hakeem, don't get the name wrong, he Canadian. All right, even with a name like Hakeem, that boy Canadian now.
His nickname is still the Dream, though.
That blood is Canadian. The judges knew that, bro. They don't like I don't know why Canadians don't get no love in America, bro. They're supposed to be like our brother in arms.
Supposed to be our mates.
Russians get more love than Canadians over here.
Oh, Russians get more love in Australia too.
Yeah, there's hey, you got one of them. You speak English, but you got an accent. No, we don't fuck with you. All right, and then to round us out, I mean, this was we started off here, and we're gonna end here. The egg on their head segment. Vicente Luque, unanimous decision over RDA. And I will say the one thing that has shocked me more than anything, and I'm not shocked much when it comes to UFC or MMA anymore, or even any type of combat sport. It takes something big to shock me, something to really go out of your tendencies. And to see RDA shoot 17 fucking not RDA, but Luque shoot 17 takedowns on RDA, get 8 of them, and it's like for him to be the one to initiate the takedowns against RDA and to dominate, that I wasn't ready for that. That one really blew me. That's like if next week we see Sugar Sean taking down Aljo, I'll be like, what the fuck am I watching right now? Like it just that doesn't happen. I was shocked when Leon Edwards took down Kamaru Usman. Like that was the equivalent of how shocked I was seeing Luque come out and be the one wanting to get a little down and dirty on the mat.
That shit is rock. Luque looked great. I feel like Luque knew that he was the bigger guy, so he just imposed his will. And the fact that he did it on wrestling is insane.
It kind of made me question, though, because I love the performance, but we saw his chin is gone. All right, we saw the Neil Magny fight. One of his posts was us laying to rest Vince Luque's legendary chin. That was once upon a time a good time. It's gone now. So it makes me wonder, does him, because he was known for his kickboxing skills. Of course, he has those Darcy choke records. That's one of his favorite submissions. But he was known for his kickboxing, his stand-up, vicious head kicks that will send you to the fucking sleep. So it makes me wonder, does he kind of know that his chin may be gone and he's smart enough to fight like, oh, I'm not going to maybe get caught in one of these exchanges and I am the bigger guy? Or if it's just how the game plan rolled out to be. But I don't know. I didn't get to see the chin, and that was my biggest question mark, especially with the brain hemorrhage stuff going on. And maybe he's smart enough to know that. And if he is, that's even bigger kudos to Vicente Luque. But that was just the biggest question mark for me, and I didn't get to see an answer this fight.
Man, tell me.
I think they just wanted to work ground game, especially how Muhammad was doing him when he lost for that fight. And I think this is coming off that performance, right?
No. He got KO'd by I said Neil Magny, I meant Geoff Neal. It was the Geoff Neal KO off his last fight where we saw him get absolutely obliterated.
But after that Muhammad fight, he knew like not only take down defense but also taking down. You know what I'm saying? He really needed to improve that for this game.
No, but Muhammad was right before. That was also last year. So it was like back to back. One whooped your ass on the ground, and the other one got 2 knockdowns and 130 significant strikes on you. But we got to get out of here. So I'm going to ask this real quick question. What was y'all's favorite thing on the card? And this, like, what's y'all's biggest thing coming out of here? Like, are y'all, like, I don't know. Like, for me, I guess I'll start off. My favorite fight, I will have to say, is the Marcus McGhee KO. I just think that was my favorite thing of the whole card. But then my biggest thing coming out of here, honestly, is what's Luque's chin look like? And will Roundtree get a fight up into the top 15 after this win?
No, that's tough. My favorite point has to been the Damon Blackshear twister. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Fucking did what he needed to do. And my biggest question is what the fuck is next for these tough fighters? Because like I don't know what the hell is next. Because I was even thinking, I was like, Muhammad Usman ain't even looking good right now. So it's like, what the fuck is up next for these motherfuckers? Because they can win that shit, but like we're not in a place where the tough fighters are being champions no more. Oh, those dudes are going to the Contender Series.
Damn, that's a good question. That's a callback all the way from the beginning of the episode, the first fight on the card. And I would say, I'm shocked. I thought you were going to have a T-Rec question. But what about you, Gator?
Yeah. My favorite fight and the one I was able to catch is a Vicente Luque fight. And I was someone who I was really high on him, especially like back then when he finished Tyron Woodley. I seriously thought he was going to be one of the contenders for a title. And my question is, you know what I'm saying? This is his first win in a couple of years. This could be a big momentum builder. Does he get a really good fight and within a couple fights could he get back into that top 5 ranking? I think he was ranked number 6 like when he first lost. He was almost so my thing is like, you know what I'm saying, does he still have that in him, or is it just completely going after that one fight?
As of
a lot of people don't come back after one fight.
As of right now, he's sitting at 10, so he's not too far out of it. And there are some, like he has a Sean Brady in front of him, a Gilbert Burns in front of him, a Wonder Boy Thompson in front of him, which would be, I think, a good little fight. I think he lost to Wonder Boy already once, so it'll be a good rematch. And then, of course, you have like the old champ Usman, Colby, Belil, Hamzat, Rachmaninoff. You got the other hitters. But I think there are potential fights in front of him that he can win.
The Muhammad rematch, too, he's ranked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I will say we can't get too deep into it. But it's like the Colby, the Muhammads, the Chimaevs.
Yeah,
there's a few of them I feel like aren't fighting you unless it's getting closer to a title shot, or I'm gonna wait for a title shot.
Yeah, for sure.
But we do gotta get the fuck out of here. We got some more UFC. Stay tuned this week. We got UFC 292, Sugar Sean, Aljo for the title coming this weekend. I mean, a double title bout. We also got Zong, if I'm not mistaken, or is that 293?
No, Zong really pulling up.
Zhang Weili and Amanda Lima.
That's the co-main, I think.
Yeah, that's co-main. Yeah. We got bangers on this next card, and also we got a recap. If y'all haven't watched already, go check the boxing recap. We talk AJ getting the finish over Helenas, and we talk about what was the fucking what was the other big the Mexicans, my boys, Dale, Vamos, them boys down there in Glendale,
Navarrete,
Navarrete getting the unanimous decision over Oscar Valdez, which was a fucking banger of a fight. Y'all didn't get to catch it. We'll break it down. Go check that breakdown. But as always, this has been Totally Blitz Podcast, and I'm Paul Pickle Wyndham Concha, joined with Kevin, the street fight enthusiast, some boy, and Southpaws run boxing. Gator Boy Jamari himself joining us from if y'all know him from our boxing side of things. And as always, if y'all didn't know, but now y'all know, motherfuckers.